Good morning, students. You might be wondering now what I am doing with this screwdriver. Actually, I am just trying to screw this thing. So, this is a screwdriver which I am using right now just to screw this towel hanger. And this is a type of machine, as you all know. Machine, that means a device which makes our work easy and we can do all our work with less effort or force. Machines are basically two types: simple machines and complex machines. Simple machines are those machines which have one or no moving parts, and the complex machines are those things which have many moving parts, or they are made up of many simple machines. Example, washing machine, vacuum cleaner, etc. Now, here we are going to discuss about the simple machines one by one. So, let's start. Students, we have just seen that in everyday life, we use various devices which make our work easy. These devices which help us to do our work easily and also make our work faster are called simple machines. These machines do not have many parts. These machines are grouped as levers, inclined plane, pulley, screw, wheel and axle, and wedge. So we can say that simple machines are grouped under 6 heads, which include levers, inclined plane, pulley, screw, wheel and axle, and wedge. First, we will study about lever. Lever is a rigid rod or bar that moves freely around a fixed point called the fulcrum. A lever generally consists of 3 major parts: load, effort, and fulcrum. Load is the object that is to be lifted or moved. Effort is the force that is applied on one end of the rod to move or lift the load. And fulcrum, it is the fixed part of the lever that does not move. It is the balancing point on which the rod or the lever moves. With the help of a lever, we can lift or move heavy objects by applying a very small force. Depending on the position of the fulcrum, the load and the effort, levers are basically classified into 3 categories: first class lever, second class lever, and third class lever. Now let's study this 3 classes of lever in details. In the first class levers, fulcrum is in between the load and effort. Some common examples of this type of lever are seesaw, scissors, beam balance, etc. In the second class levers, load is in between the fulcrum and effort. Some common examples of second class lever are wheelbarrow, nutcracker, bottle cap opener, etc. In the third class levers, the effort is in between the fulcrum and load. Some common examples of third class levers are forceps, ice tongs, knife, etc. A simple machine that has a sloping surface is called an inclined plane. An inclined plane or a ramp helps us to move objects up to a particular height. Some common examples of inclined plane are ramps, slides, etc. A staircase is also an example of an inclined plane. The wheel and axle is a simple machine made of a large wheel rigidly attached to a rod or smaller wheel called an axle. It moves and carries loads with less effort. The most common wheel and axle that people use every day are tires in a car, bus, truck or bicycle, steering wheel, swing machine, etc. Other examples are laurel skates, potter's wheel, giant wheel, and wheelbarrow. A screwdriver is also an example of an wheel and axle arrangement. In a screwdriver, the thick handle works as the wheel and the thinner metal rod as the axle. With this arrangement, it takes less force to move something. A screw is a long nail with a spiral metal thread along its length. A screw holds the pieces together more firmly than a nail does. The head of the screw has a groove where a screwdriver can be fixed. We use a car jack to lift cars. A car jack is operated by turning a screw called the jack screw. Today we have already learned about 4 types of simple machines. So let's now revise these simple machines one by one in a real life demonstration. That means I will show you some real life examples of how and where these types of levers or simple machines are used. Okay. Friends, till now we have studied about 4 types of simple machines, including lever, inclined plane, screw, and wheel and axle arrangement. Now here are some things which we see daily in our everyday life, and now we will see how these simple machines help in our work. Okay, first of all I have told you about levers, and I already told you that levers are classified into three categories: first class lever, second class lever and third class lever. Now first of all, in first class lever, the fulcrum lies in between the load and the effort. So here I have a plier in my hand. This plier is an example of a first class lever, because see, this is the fulcrum or the fixed point, and here we will put the load, and this is the effort where I am holding this plier like this. So this is the effort part. So this is an example of a first class lever, because this is the fulcrum which lies in between the load and the effort. So this is an example of a first class lever. Similarly, here I have a scissor. This scissor is also an example of a first class lever, because this is the fulcrum or the fixed point. Here we will put the load, and this, when I am holding the scissor like this, so this is the effort part. So here also the fulcrum lies in between the, so here also the fulcrum lies in between the load and the effort. So this is the example of a first class lever. Now I have told you that in second class lever, the load lies in between the fulcrum and the effort. So here I have a lemon squeezer in my hand. This lemon squeezer is an example of a second class lever. Here this is the fixed point, so this is the fulcrum. Here I will put the lemon inside it to squeeze the juice. So this is the load area, and here I will hold the squeezer like this. So this is the effort area, because I will just put the lemon inside this thing and I will squeeze it like this. So this is the effort part or the effort area. So this is the fulcrum, this is the load, and this is the effort. So here the load lies in between the fulcrum and the effort. Load lies in between the fulcrum and the effort. So this is an example of a second class lever. Hope you understand this. Again I will telling you, this is the fulcrum, this is the load area, and this is the effort area. The load lies in between the fulcrum and the effort. So this is an example of a second class lever. Here I have a nail cutter in my hand. See this nail cutter. This nail cutter is an example of a first class lever. How I am telling you. This is the fulcrum or the fixed point. Here I am putting the nail for cutting the nails. So this is the load area. Yeah, I am holding the nail cutter from this part. So this is the effort area. So here also the fulcrum or the fixed point lies in between the load and the effort. So this is an example of a first class lever. Now I have told you in third class lever, the effort lies in between the load and the fulcrum. I have a tweezer in my hand. This tweezer is an example of a third class lever. How you see? This, I am holding the tweezer here from this part. So this is the effort part. This is the fixed part or the fulcrum part. And here the load will be there. So this is the load part. So here the fulcrum, the effort lies in between the load and the fulcrum. So this is an example of a third class lever. Also I have told you about the wheel and the axle arrangement. I have got a screwdriver here. This screwdriver is an example of a wheel and axle arrangement. In a wheel and axle arrangement, I have told you already, the wheel is attached to the axle or the rod which passes through the center of the wheel. Here you see this metal rod, it acts as the axle, and this part acts as the wheel. And here this axle or the metal rod, it passes through the center of the wheel. You can see here, it passes through the center of the wheel. So this is the example of a wheel and axle arrangement. When you turn the wheel, the axle will also turn accordingly. So this is the basic example of a wheel and axle arrangement. And now I have a screw also in my hand. This screw is also a simple machine. I have already told you this makes our work easy, and it also fixes the wood pieces together more firmly than a nail. This is basically a long metal nail with a thread along its length. This is the thread. This is the threading part. You can see it clearly, I hope. See, this is the threading part along its length, and the screw has a groove inside. See, the screw has a groove inside. This groove. Here we will put the head of the screwdriver like this. You will put the head of the screwdriver like this, and when you turn the screwdriver like this, the screw will also move inside the wood. So in this way the screw works. So screw is a type of simple machine which makes our work easy. That's all, students.